Welcome to our last review of 2024, and this is actually my new personal vehicle that I just bought, the Chevy Equinox EV. We're talking about a 2025 Chevy Equinox. There's been a couple of changes, not many, between the 2024 and 2025. So let's get right into it. Look at this vehicle. We're going to start right away with the aesthetic appearances, and it looks actually really good. No wonder I bought this vehicle, and we're a small channel, so I didn't just, lease it for a year. I bought it. I'm financing it. I dropped 50% down, as you should, and I bought it. I like the look of the light bar. Now, personally, I was looking for an LT. There's actually not a whole lot to be seen for the all-wheel drive LT, and the reason is, between the LT and the RS, you're not gonna have much difference. Powertrains are the same. You get the same amount of horsepower. So we'll get right into that. We're looking at 300 horsepower and 355 pounds-feet of torque. 0 to 60 time in about 6 seconds. 85 kilowatt battery. Charging rate's about 150 kilowatts hour, which is gonna give you about a 10 to 80% time in about 39 minutes. I'll be doing a charging review down the line, not today though. Total range is 494 kilometers of range, or 300 miles. So it definitely hits that 300-mile marker that you want to see in EVs. And that's one of the reasons why this vehicle is so darn popular. Not just that, but because of the price point as well. It is extremely affordable, and it's capable of towing 1,500 pounds. Now, the big differences between the LT and the RS, as I was shopping them around, is look, the RS obviously has a nice RS badging, and it's got a blacked out portion right here, and you can get habanero orange, which is the color we have today. Might look a little bit more red on camera, but it's actually a nice kind of orange, but that's a color you can only get with the RS. However, the LT in the blue looks pretty darn nice. And another difference is that you won't be able to see, because this is my personal vehicle, so the first thing I did was, it comes with 21-inch wheels, as opposed to the LT comes with 19-inch wheels. And the first thing I did was, because it's winter around here, as you can see, we are in winter wonderland. So follow, like, subscribe, and follow, because I'll definitely be doing a cold weather test with this EV, more than one, I would say, and some range cold weather tests. So the first thing I did, as I was saying, is I swapped those out. I got winter tires on there on 17-inch wheels. We're talking about 235 65 R17s, and it has to be rated for EV, because EV is definitely way more than internal combustion. Another reason, one of the reasons too why I picked this over the Blazer, because the Blazer is obviously bigger, much more expensive. I think it's about $10,000 to $15,000 more here in Canada. Is this? The Blazer EV has a motorized charging point. This does not. Charging is CCS, but you can get, and I will be getting, NACS adapters. That's the Tesla adapter. So this has an agreement as of now. You can charge this on the Tesla charging network, which is definitely going to help you. And however, 150 kilowatts of charging speed is not the fastest. The door handles, as you can see right here, they stick out, so you can lock them, and they become completely flush. And I am not a big fan of this. So if we're taking this as not being motorized, and that's one of my pros, this being motorized is definitely one of my cons. However, you put your hand in the back and it unlocks all 4 doors. Well, you program it that way. That's the way I have it, because I want my kid to be able to get in instead of having to unlock the doors manually. But so far, no problem here, and I've had it for over a week, so it served me well. I'm just not a big fan of a motorized door handle, and I think we're looking at slightly over engineering. Those are my thoughts. Give yours down below in the comment section. So we're looking at the back. We have all LED lighting and a little bit more RS badging. We have the all-wheel drive. And as we open it, so we have a motorized tailgate, 360-degree camera all around the vehicle. And if you look at the inside, cargo capacity is 26 cubic feet with the seats up. and 57 cubic feet with the seat down. Also, we have a drop floor here. You can see I've already dropped it to the lowest setting, and we have some storage down here as well, and you can definitely fit charging cables and a couple of other things in here. Now, to put it up so you can see that difference on the floor here. So usually you can have it up here and it'll be completely flush with the seats. I prefer to just maximize my cargo space. And as far as cargo space, there is no front trunk, and we got a power close. Let's go inside. Here we are inside, and first I'm just going to start with the back seat because it's got a pretty decent amount of leg space right here. It's got 39.9 inches of leg room, and with the RS we got some nice leather, perforated leather seats. Definitely pretty comfortable. I had plenty of room back there, flat floor. I have my own ventilation, cup holders, and 2 USB-Cs in order to connect devices. Overall, the doors are actually made of really good material. Nice and soft to the touch. However, in the front is what you guys probably want to see. Again, I have a nice little faded red here in the door and some soft material all around. I do have a little bit of rugged plastic. Some people call it cheap plastic, but I just think it's nice, easy to clean. And this is actually soft here as well. I like the circular vents, which we've seen in the Blazer and all these other Chevrolet product that come out. It looks pretty cool, and with the red accents in it, and it looks really good. I have a leather wrap steering wheel with some red stitching underneath here. It's heated steering wheel, RS badging over here. I do not have Super Cruise. Now, that was actually a surprise to me because all the press fleet we get have Super Cruise. Now, this is my own purchase, my own personal car, and I wanted Super Cruise, which is a $4,000 add-on here in Canada, but not quite. You have to add the top trim package, so it comes basically a $9,000 add-on. And the dealer basically told me, he's like, good luck finding one. So I was able to negotiate a pretty good deal because this one was on the lot. And you can see my negotiation video on my channel if you're looking to negotiate in Canada. Very different than negotiating in the United States. Go check out that video. We have digital gauge cluster. We've got 2 massive screens. Now, I'm a bit surprised that they didn't go with the latest of all the GMs that have, you know, that one big 33-inch screen. But I like this because it's got a little bit bigger here at the bottom. HVAC, I have a nice combination of hard buttons here. I do not have the dual climate zone. Now, here's the thing. I did not get the second level package of technological package for my personal vehicles because, in all honesty, I think a heads-up display is a bit gimmicky. The camera rear view, it's nice, but I usually end up on the press vehicles to be using the regular mirror. I think it gives me a better depth perception personally. Some of you, I'm sure, like the new screen instead, and that's fine. But also, it gives you, adjustable, power adjustable seats and the dual zone climate control, which 90% of the time is just me sitting in this car and my kids, so there's no tri-zone anyways. It has its own ventilation, but we don't usually mess with the dual zone climate controls on the vehicles we get. So my wife is usually quite fine. She doesn't bother changing it, and we didn't really need it. Personally, I think that's the way to go for this vehicle. And I've mentioned before that I probably would have gone with the LT, just because you can get like a top trim LT that will have all these creature comforts that you're looking for, except, it'll have, it's just a lower price point by like $5,000. Anyways, so this is Google built in. It does not have wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto capability, and that is something that I was very upset with. However, breaking news for those who don't know, 2025s will have the Google built-in map for free, not for 3 years like the 2024, but we're talking about 8 years. I am good till 2032. I just purchased this car this year, and I was looking at my subscription, and my salesperson just confirmed they had an OnStar rep actually on site telling this on that day, which was a couple weeks ago. And it's 8 years now, and that's really makes it not all that bad for me because I was very upset that I would have to pay subscriptions after 3 years. Again, I'm not a big YouTube channel. I'm not trading this in after a year. This is, unless we get really big, so like and subscribe. But I bought this just to be my personal vehicle, and that's what it's going to be. I'm going to ride it for a very long time, and 8 years is actually pretty good. So I no longer have concerns about subscription. However, if you like using, let's go in the apps here. If I'm using the apps, and you can see I have some Spotify, and I don't know why Consumer Reports, they just did a review about the Blazer EV and said, oh, you can't really load Waze or Spotify. Yes, you can. Here they are. And they respond fairly well. It's all up to the connection that you have because, you know, it doesn't, there's no hardwired internet here. It's depends on the tower. So I live in the mountains sometimes. This is slow, about the same equivalent to my cell phone. So having Android Auto probably wouldn't help me in that personal case, but you can definitely have but here's a shortcoming. I don't understand why we can't have all the apps that are offered on the Google App Store. You can't have Netflix or YouTube. Can't watch my videos on this. Not that I usually watch myself. I watch other people. But I'm not that conceited. But so it's, yeah, that's the downfall for me. But I'm sure this will come. However, this is still at 3 years. I'm not getting this data free for 8 years. So if I still want to keep using YouTube and others kind of apps, I need a connection. I need to pay about $10 a month to get that. However, you can get by, you know, loading your music still with Bluetooth on your phone, and it's still going to show up on the screen. However, it's not going to have these cool graphics that you would have like this and such. This is going to be a Bluetooth a Bluetooth connection, and just you can still skip with the paddles. Now that's one thing I definitely love with a General Motors vehicle is the paddles in the back for well, you can adjust the resistance for regen, but also music selection and volume is back here. Always very easy to find. Definitely something I enjoy coming from a non-General Motors owner. I had a Mazda, and these are some of the things I like. The shifter, the electronic shifter right here, pull towards you, down for drive, pull towards you, up for reverse, 360 camera, and we'd have some really nice, you know, scenery right here to look at, but also really nice quality of cameras. I have no issues, so just tap back if you want to go in neutral and push here to park it. Also, I can, because you don't have it on and off start stop button, you do have some these are never going to change on the screen. They're always going to be there. So here I got my one pedal drive. Here I got my if I want to keep it on, even though I'm going to, you know, that's how I got those nice shots of the vehicle with the LED lights on, because technically your butt activates the vehicle because you don't have a start stop. But if you want to leave it on, here I press this, vehicle remain on for 60 minutes, and you press OK. And then if you want to turn it off, you would press this button. So you can press it on and turn it off. Your light controls are over here. This doesn't bother me so much. It did for a while when I was reviewing these cars, and I wish they would have made it part of the hard buttons here. There's room. They could have done that. But here you just have your auto hold, lane keeping assist, parking brake, and your trunk opening, as well as your dimming the screens and such, your brightness adjustment. I've already mentioned HVAC controls. Now, one thing I don't have here that I wish it could be here, and it's not, maybe I can change that in my settings, comment below. I just got this car like literally like a week and a bit ago, is my drive mode select. So drive mode, you look at normal, sports, snow and ice. I've used snow and ice quite a bit for obvious reasons, lots of snow and ice. And I've driven it through a blizzard, I've driven it through the freezing rain, and we'll talk a little bit about that when I'm driving a vehicle. And then you got my modes. I haven't customized any modes. I find these are perfectly fine. And, you know, 300 horsepower, that's a little bit up from the previous year. I think like 12 horsepower more and 25 pounds-feet of torque more, roughly around there. So these are your drive modes. I wish this button right here for the drive modes was over here. I think you can customize them, but you can't drag it over there. So I can change where it goes in the order by pressing and holding, but I can't force it. Yeah, no, it's not going there. So, you know, you definitely have some customizable, as well as the screen right here. I had my gauge there over there, and you got different kind of gauges over here, as well as your maps. I find that when you're driving and you're navigating, there's always a corner here that tells you where to go. I don't usually have it on the maps screen, but you can have it there. Plus, you always have your maps over here. Nice big crisp screen. And one thing I definitely love about General Motors, and that's one thing, because I'm going to go see the parents for the holidays, and you know, it definitely plots your route and it tells you where you're going to need to charge roughly, and it finds chargers. And when you select a charger, let's say we go here and we select a, you know, this slow charger over here, and I press start for navigating, you'll see that, well, when you get close enough, it'll prepare the battery for charging, which is gonna make it faster to charge. That preconditioned the battery is what I mean to say. But usually when you're close enough to the charger, it will precondition your battery. However, if you know where you're going and you don't really need to, you can always go on the charging section here, and you can say precondition the battery. There's going to be a button right here in the settings. So get ready to fast charge, and you would press start and it will precondition your battery. I'm just going to go back to park here, and yeah, so I definitely like that it's fairly easy to precondition your own battery. Already talked about the HVAC controls, good amount of controls right here. And I got wireless charger here, 2 USB-Cs, and cup holders that you can have a big gulp. And some storage here. I use that for my sunglasses and such, just because I don't have a sunglass compartment here up there, which I'm used to. I have a storage bin right here. I mean, I got my gloves there. And yeah, I usually put a box of Kleenex there as well. And then my wife gives me crap because she says that's her purse station. Yeah, I don't know. I'm the one usually in this car, so I should be able to decide that, but that's not how life works. And, you know, all in all, fairly comfortable. I like a more rigid seat, so the General Motors seats are on the more rigid side, but I am quite comfortable, and I got plenty of leg room, headroom, and everything's good. But let's see how it drives. So before I take it for a drive, I'm going to change my drive mode in an annoying fashion where I have to go through the screen. We've already talked about that. We're just going to move on. So, sports mode. Actually, this is like the first time I'm going to put it in sports mode. Why? Because it's got plenty of get up and go. Now, it's not going to kick me in the back, like to the back of my seat, like some vehicles would, like some EVs do. Most, you know, it's talking about the Mustang. It's got definitely a more kick right off the line. However, this is such a good, steady, gradual acceleration that, in a way, it's more comfortable. Now, 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, that's not too bad. But you know what? Let's just punch it chewy. And we got some slippage going on. I'm on ice, so this is what I'm going with. Now, I'm going to start stopping a lot quicker because the roads are slippery. I'm going to go back to normal. The reason why I haven't been driving it on sports mode is because, well, this is winter now, right? And the roads are always going to be slippery. Sports mode, you know, torque is not exactly your friend when you're on the ice or on the snow. Just so you guys know, right? I know there's a lot of videos out there of the Cybertruck skidding out of controls, and I definitely do not like the Cybertruck personally, but that's the thing, right? All that torque is not going to help you climbing up a snow hill. It's slow and steady wins the race, or as my close quarter combat instructor used to tell me, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That definitely is the case for winter driving, but this is not a winter driving lecture or video, so I'm going to keep moving on about the drivability. Here's the thing that I like about this, and another reason why I chose this over the Blazer is because it's more nimble, definitely handles well, and the Blazer, it's wider, doesn't make it easier to park, obviously, but so you got more shoulder room. But as far as height wise, they're basically the same. Overall cargo, I mean, maybe a couple cubic feet more on the Blazer's side of things. But as far as acceleration, like, here you go, I'm gonna have some dry road. It goes pretty fast. It's definitely gonna beat out most combustion engine vehicle. And the reason why I didn't want a EV that's gonna definitely squeal the tires and all stuff, because tires for EVs are more expensive. If you didn't know, they're a lot more expensive. and they wear out faster because EVs are much heavier than internal combustion engine vehicle. So the last thing I want to do for a vehicle that I personally own, you know, press fleet, different thing, you want the cool looking rims and all that stuff, but is to have an EV that's going to constantly give it up and go and wear out the tires even faster. I have a heavy foot as it is, and I don't think it was a good idea for me to maybe get an EV that has very fast, sharp acceleration right off the line. All things considered, you're not gonna feel a lack of power in this vehicle. It's definitely more than enough, and because it's an EV, it's instant power, instant torque. Another thing I absolutely love about this vehicle is how quiet it is. It's extremely quiet. Yes, most EVs are very quiet, and I guess it's a good and a bad thing, because there's just a recall that just came in for the 2025 Equinox that have to do with the fact that it's too quiet, in the sense that the pedestrian alert system, that's, you know, the outside speakers, you know, giving you that when you're moving at slow speed, just generating that whatever, those are for, not for you, those are for the pedestrians. Apparently it's too quiet, so there's been a recall about those. I'm actually about to take this on a road trip to go visit the family, because I live here in Quebec City, but I'm the only one that does so, and that's because I was posted here with the military. And you know, I'm going to travel quite a few hundred kilometers. I think it might be like 1,000 kilometers by the time it's all said and done, which is going to be interesting. I'll let you guys know how that went down in a live video perhaps, or something like that. But so far I'm not expecting any issues. I did pick it up a 5-hour distance from where I live, so I've already driven 400 kilometers on a long road trip. I didn't have any issues. However, 150 kilowatt charging speed is not what I've been getting. Now, I am in the winter, so that's not abnormal. It is not optimal charging environment. It's cold, so that could have to do with it. I'm going to look forward to charging in the summer, but the max I've been getting is 100 kilowatt hour speed in 0 degrees to minus 20 temperatures. Again, not optimum charging environment. As far as reaction time, body roll and such, I find that this vehicle handles extremely well, way more nimble than the Blazer EV. I found the Blazer EV was kind of like driving a boat in a sense, or the Cadillac Lyriq, same thing, same platform. And that this one, I just find it's more nimble. It's still got a little bit of body roll, but that's because I'm riding on 17-inch tires with more rubber to them. So that will probably change when I have the 21-inch rims on in the summer, which I'm going to keep on until those tires wear out, and then I'm going to change it for something more comfortable, because if you haven't noticed, the roads here are not the most comfortable riding roads. They are full of imperfections, which I definitely recommend changing to the beefier tires. Definitely makes it such a nice, comfortable drive, and it's definitely more comfortable than when I was testing the car out with the stock rims. And during my drive test, I find that it was obviously a little bit more harsh, and this is a little bit more plush. But here, I've been driving only in the snow because it's been winter since I've got it, so I don't know what it's like on the hard pack. But in the snow, traction very well. I found myself driving through a blizzard and perhaps going at a little bit faster than I thought. I had to look at the speedometer like, ooh, I need to slow down, because it's such a stable drive. You feel so in control and such a good grip that you may tend to go fast, too fast, without noticing it. And that has to do also with soundproofing. It has to do with the harshness. You're not feeling. It's very smooth, it's very stable, and it's just all around very good. So it's easy to go fast, too fast, if you're not watching yourself. Now, this road is extremely bumpy, but it's not, my back is not taking a beating, so that is very good. All in all, if I'm going to talk to you about my pros and cons, I'm going to do another video about, you know, things I hate about these vehicles and things I love. But since you're watching the long format video, I might as well just tell you now. Things I love about this video is everything that has to do with driving, price. Obviously I bought it, so I definitely enjoyed the price and the overall range considering the segment. Things I don't like is door handles, the drive modes selection, just not having that quick select button. If you're not going to have a hard button, which should be the first thing they put, if you're going to go through the screen, change your drive modes, I just find that just very inefficient. So that's my biggest pet peeve thus far, and I wish it would charge fast. Would I recommend it? I think that's a stupid question, because obviously I will recommend it because it's the EV that I decided to buy it. Out of all the EVs, I'm going to go through another video of why I chose this specific video, but I mean, the pros kind of speak for themselves. It's a good price, it offers a good amount of range, it handles really well, and it just, it doesn't do everything the best. It's not the fastest acceleration, it's a smooth acceleration, but it just, for something that's going to make sense for your wallet, not wear out your tires too fast, just have a nice comfortable ride and enough cargo space, but not going to break the bank when you purchase it, and plenty of range. This is the EV to get this year and pretty much next year as well. So my name is Pat, and I appreciate that you've been watching this video. It's our last review of the year, and I just want to thank you all for your support. Thank you guys for making this channel grow, and you guys are basically the best. Engage me in the comment section, email me. The email is on the YouTube channel, and just thank you very much, you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys next year. I'm kicking off with a Silverado EV to start the year, and then I'm going to go through the Blazer. I'm going to do a comparison video, even though I've kind of been comparing throughout this video. I'll see you guys next year.